Hi, Don and Joelle. This is Renee DeBello, and I'm going to actually do the market analysis a little bit differently today. I'm going to actually walk you through live what I've discovered because it was so surprising that I want to take you through the same process that I went through. But before we get started on that, I really want to show you what the algorithms are saying on the various websites. So if we start out with Zillow, which is the most popular one that people go to, and keeping in mind that these are always, 70% of the time they're wrong. And when they're wrong, they're up to 20% inaccurate, either high or low, most of that 70% of the time. So this shows that the house is listed for sale at $589 and the Zestimate is at $410. eAppraisal says that they are estimating at $396. When we go to Bank of America, they're very non-committal, but they're saying that it's worth at least $546 and as much as $641. So they've got a $100,000 range there. And then if you go to our own website, our algorithm says that it's worth somewhere between $520 and $535. So how do we go about determining what it's actually valued at? Well, one thing we can do is we can look at the tax record. Let me make sure I've got this one. Yep, correct. We can come down here to the estimated value. And this is just the county using their algorithm to determine what they think that the property is valued at. They think it's valued at $539,667, and the range they feel, based on usually condition, is huge. It's between 480 and almost 600, and their confidence score in this is 82. That's fairly high. So that gives you that, and we can see that the square footage of the house is 2,500 square feet, and we're going to be using that quite a bit. So what I did, appraisers, when they go out, they normally look at, what they're going to normally do is they're going to go initially 1/4 mile out, and they'll only look 6 months back. Only if they can find nothing else will they extend either of those. And normally they will extend the area out to up to a mile rather than going further back, especially in a market like this. So the criteria that I've got here is 2 miles. I'll show you what happened when I did a 1/4 mile. There was nothing. Then I changed it to a 1/2 mile, which would be our next line of defense. And there was still very, very little. So I ended up going a mile, very little. And what did come up, I'll show you, were homes that sold for, you can see this one sold for a little bit over $1 million. This one sold for, is pending at 1.2599. That's 1.2 million. This one's at 1.1 million and is active. There's a new community in this area that is building, and here the closest one to you was at 985. So that's pretty surprising. So then I go back and I go 2 miles. Even some of these homes that you're seeing that are not within the community, the new construction community, are at a higher price. This one was at $715 and it's sold. And this one, I think this is the one. Here, let's look at it real quick. This is the one, let's see. Oh no, this is new construction. This has actually got the same listing agent as well. So the new construction, we can't really compare because there's a premium that you pay for new construction. It is a nice property. And if we did compare that using $273 a square foot, that brings you to 684. So we don't want to do that. So then, as I'm going to highlight these, you can see 887. Here's a sold at 900. Pending. Actually, the sold is behind there. Here's another one at 918 that was active. And oh, actually, that one's pending, so that one's already got a contract on it. Don't mean to be giving you a headache here with all my zooming in and out. I'm trying to get this to open up so I can see the sold, but it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Sold at 735. You can see these are pretty high-end homes. Here on the lake, there were some that sold as well, 4,000 square feet on the lake. So you've got premiums for that. This one is a pretty large home. So usually once you get into really large homes, the price per square footage goes down because the price is getting so far up there, and that home doesn't really relate as either. Here's another one for 1.3. Here's one for 715. Oh, that's the one that we looked at. Here's one for 674. This one I thought was interesting. I want to show you this. You can see it's got outbuildings. The house is 2,700 square feet. You can't see that right now. The home that you're looking at is 2,500 square feet. And this one has the vaulted ceilings, a similar feel to the property. The bathrooms are much more in line with what people would expect. So certainly if you updated your bathrooms, that would increase the value of your property there. So this one at $249.98 times 2,500 still puts you at 624. But you can see that there's a lot more similarities about this building, about this property. They have this, which is 980 square foot detached garage, and then they have a shop, 200 square foot garage, single car garage / shop that's part of the property as well, with a roll-up door. So from that perspective, it's a much newer home. It was built in 2000, but again, it's pending inspection, and the price was at $274,950. So where does that bring us? I want to show you. I'm going to show you what all came up. You can see that this home is the least expensive home that has been listed for over $400 in the last 6 months, and everything else is significantly more expensive. There were some properties that had mobile home manufactured homes on them, or were little 1,000 square foot ramblers that were just one step up from being manufactured homes that sold, and those properties I'm assuming are going to be tear downs. But you can see that the pricing is shockingly expensive area out there. So where does that leave us? We know that 575 did not was more than what the market could bear. So we know that that's not the right price. My thinking is that we can do a couple of things. We can either come in at 575 and ask for 3% back in closing cost, and make sure that your lender will use every single dime. 3% comes out to like 17,000. Here, I'll just calculate it. 575 times 3% comes out to $17,250. If we took that away from 589, that brings the price that you would oh, not 589. What am I thinking? 575 minus the 17,250. That brings it down to you paying 557,750, which feels a lot better to me. The other thing that we could do, keeping in mind that you are a contingent offer, but the other thing that you could do is come in a little bit lower and still ask for the 3%. So maybe don't come in at 575, come in at 570 or 565, something like that. I think that you'll have a much better opportunity to secure the property if we do the 575 and have them pick up the full cost of the 3%. But again, I'd like for you to be able to talk to your person at your credit union and make sure that they can use whatever is not used for closing costs to buy down your interest rate. We just want to make sure that all those resources can actually be used, or it's of no value to you. Anyway, please take a look at this and give me a call with what you're wanting to do. We do have an offer already predominantly written. Thank you.